Okay. It's funny. So the other day I put out my offer and was really super excited about it, and I did it right before I went to bed, and I closed my computer, and that was the last breath she ever took. So I'm now on my iPad while I wait for a new one to come in. But I laughed that was literally the last thing that it ever did, was send it out. So I'm operating on an iPad, which is a little bit this is not how I have ever used an iPad before. I use it for fun, not for not for other things. Gosh. But we're gonna make it work, and it's gonna be great. Good morning. And I don't know where the camera is. I think it's over here. So like if I'm looking out the window, like bear with me. Oh, let's see, 10:01. I'm going to, in the interest of time, I have a presentation, and I'm going to share my screen now and get that fancy little process started. Share. I practiced this last night too. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. And then the other thing I had all planned and ready to do was
Sandra.
To drop in the presentation into the chat. I'm not going to do that there. Let's see. You guys get to see me texting myself?
Test 1, 2, 3.
Good morning.
Hi,
Morning.
Sarah.
Hi.
Hi, boo-boo.
How are you?
You're looking beautiful today.
Thanks. I considered doing my hair, and I was like, I haven't done my hair in 8 months. I'm going to be okay without doing my hair.
It's fab.
Thanks. Okay, let's see.
Alaska.
It would be helpful if I could get this in there quickly.
I've had a problem where I can't share files if it's open. I don't know if that's
It was
a problem.
it's a link, which I should have texted to myself. I don't know if I can do this quick enough.
Good morning, sweetie. You're good.
Good morning. It's a link to my Google Drive. It was all prepared. I don't know where Google is. Anyhow, we're going to get rolling, and now I have to turn myself off on my phone because I'm having like a Twilight Zone experience. Okay. So I will send you the link to, there's a shared Google Drive, which has all the PowerPoint slides and a template to help you plan. And I'll do that as soon as we are finished. Good morning, everyone. I hope you can see me. I have my screen up and I can't see the chat. I told folks just a minute ago that I'm operating on my iPad because the other day I sent out my offer and invite to everybody and super excited about everything, and then closed my computer and went to bed, and that was the last computer breath that she ever took. So I'm on the iPad, which is a little bit weird, but it's going to be fine. So I hope that you guys can see me, and maybe I can see you. Can you? No, you're probably seeing out my window now. Okay, well,
now.
We can see you.
What? Can you see me now?
We see you and your screen. I can anyway.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. I've never presented to a group in Zoom with my screen, and it's real weird knowing that there's like 30 of you or however many, and I'm talking to my screen. I'm not talking to anyone. This is so weird. But anyhow, I'm Sarah Alvarez. Thanks for joining me this morning. I live in Anchorage, Alaska, and I am right now sort of what I'm considering to be a seemingly schizophrenic entrepreneur. I have a variety of avenues that I'm doing well in, but I'm trying to bring all of them together. And one of them is web design. I spent about 15 years in elementary school education as a teacher, and then as an elementary school principal. And I like to consider that in those years of writing emails, crafting emails to upset parents, I am the world's best subconscious copywriter there is. So I have a gift for words, and I'm excited to share it with everybody. This is my dog Mozzie, and the other funny thing, so I'm like getting ready this morning, and Facebook, shows me my memories. I took this photo 1 year ago today, which is totally bizarre that it was exactly 1 year ago. Okay, so with your about page, even though it may say that it's about you, it's not. It's about your person. They're coming to your page, they're shopping around, they're looking for services, they're looking for products, they're looking for whatever it is you have to offer. And they're in the span of probably 20 minutes going to 20 different people's sites. So you have a minuscule amount of time to capture their attention. And once you capture their attention, their strategic, like their logistic or logical, that's the word, their logical next move after they've been like, I kind of like this, is to go to your about page to see if they connect with you personally. So after your home page, your about page is the second most visited page on your site. And it's a highly underutilized place to capture your people. And we'll talk about this in a little bit, but when you craft your about page to like really show you and show your personality and let that come through, you're going to weed out the people that you also don't want to work with. So it's a win-win for both of you and for your client, because you know that they'll be coming to you because they're really interested in you, and you'll be going to them because they have picked you. Okay, so first things first, what your about page is not. It is not your resume. It's not a bullet point list of all the amazing things that you've done, including Homecoming Queen, which I am embarrassed to say at one point my resume did say, but we have moved on from those days in high school. It's also not an executive summary like what you'd find on LinkedIn. So don't pick up your summary and cut and paste from LinkedIn right on over to your about page. They serve two different places. LinkedIn a little bit more formal and business-like, I guess. I'm just speaking from my own different entrepreneurial things. My website's much less formal than my LinkedIn is. So you really have to think about who the audience is for both. And when I get to know LinkedIn a little bit better, that's going to be another class that I put out to the world, is how to connect all those things. It's also not a first draft of your autobiography where you start and talk about your childhood in Alaska, and then you move to Seattle, and then you move to Boston, and then you move back to California, and then you started teaching. They don't care at all. It's also not boring. And this is a place where before you post it or publish it or whatever, have your friends and close ones, or sometimes they're not the best people to go to, go to your pod and have them check it out and see if they find it to be engaging and interesting. With with that also being said, there's boring and then there's an ego boost. This isn't a place, I mean, you want it to be empowering to you and you want your very best light to shine. But you don't want it to be off-putting in a way that is unapproachable from your client's perspective. And I keep saying client, so client, customer, shopper, whatever, insert that word. And then lastly, you don't want it to be a conversation with Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 wah. So that's what it is not. What it is, though, is this little bucket of freedom on your page where you get to shine. And it's where you get to make your emotional connection with your person, sharing a little bit about your story, inviting them in so that they are getting ready to share theirs with you when they purchase from you. It also establishes you as a thought leader or as an expert in your field. It's a place where you get to differentiate yourself from those that are in the same niche as you are. And then this is also an underutilized place for search engine optimization. It brings a ton of organic traffic to your site. So like if you type in, I don't know if Kathy's does it, but oftentimes if you type in somebody's name in Google, it'll say their website and then it'll have like indented a little bit. It'll say like services, about, contact, it'll have like the subset of things. And that's if the website is set up correctly. Google likes that. So anyhow, it brings organic traffic to your site by sprinkling in just a whole nother set of all those things that Google really likes, which are keywords. So in all of the copywriting that I ever do, I choose voice and content and clarity first before I even consider keywords, and I haven't had any problem with that. So I know that there are a lot of folks out there in the copywriting verse that say, really think plan your content around your keywords. I just can't do that as a writer. So that's just my style, but you can do whichever you would like. It also really builds your brand image and conveys the voice that you set for your business. And the last piece is that it is a fluid living document. It is not a set it and forget it. Once you write it, it's like set in stone. That is not the case. As the seasons change or anything that comes up, or if you're just feeling in a different mood, this is a great place to have that just be a fluid, living, breathing thing that you go back to and revisit all the time. And I love baseball, little known fact. Some of my first memories are of, I used to get a bowl of grapes after dinner. I don't know why grapes, but I would get grapes and then I would go up to my parents' room where it was quiet away from my brothers. And I would sit and watch baseball. Like what 7-year-old watches baseball? But anyhow, I think it's because the statistics. That's really what I think it is. But that's a conversation for another day. So in baseball, there's the closing pitcher where that person is, their only job is to come into the game at the very end and seal the deal. And so your about page, if you think about it like that, it's the place where you get to wrap up everything that you wanted to say in all of your other pages, but couldn't really find the fit. Your about page is the place where you get to do it. You really have complete freedom to put in there whatever it is that you would like to say. Okay. And really the why is to increase the conversions and also obviously to get the people that want to work with you and that you want to work with. So not only is it just about sales, it's about getting the right people. So it takes 50 milliseconds for users to form an opinion on your website when they get to your page. that's like, that's really fast. So you have that amount of time for them to choose to stay or choose to leave. And so after that, you then have 5.5 seconds to get them engaged in your content. So you essentially have 6 seconds to get people to, one, get engaged by your site, and two, read a few enough words that they're like, oh, I'm going to stay. So that's why the impact of your words is so important. And that's not just on the about page, it's on every page. So really be thinking about what those words are that you want your people to be seeing when they click on your page. I mean, I'm sure that you guys can visualize this in your head, and as we sit and scroll and all those things. And I mean, it just all happens so fast. Okay. Oh, I wonder if this isn't, it's not going to work because it's on my computer. This is supposed to say how, and then it's supposed to be a GIF, and magic is supposed to be coming. That's how you do it, is all magic, which obviously isn't the case, but that'll be a little fun surprise for you when you get the presentation on your own. Really, the how is with these things: your voice, a headline that is benefit driven, which we'll talk about in a second, your story, what sets you apart, a fun photo or a photo that really matches your tone and your voice, a call to action, and then above the fold. And we'll talk about each of these as we go along. So the first piece before you even get started crafting your page is to think about your voice, your emotional ties, and your fun facts. And these are what I call the secret sauce of your about page, but also about everything on your website. They are not necessarily, they're the unwritten components that are woven into just the fabric of your site. It's the way that your site comes to life and has your personality in it. It's like, you wouldn't necessarily say like, I want my website to be edgy, sassy, quirky, and fun, but you know that in your head. So with your voice, what are words that you would use to describe your brand? And those are words like edgy, sophisticated, feminine, professional. Like, what are those words that when people say, like when they would describe your website, what would they say? And then the emotional ties are, how do you want your readers to feel? And this is really a component that can't be stressed enough. How do you want them to feel upon reading what you have to provide? If you're a coach, it might be like they're feeling, like in my case, in working with women who are feeling yucky on the inside but have a high performing experience on the outside, I would want them to feel empowered, inspired, encouraged, any of those sorts of things. For others, it might be like ready, like I'm ready to get on a training plan or something along those lines. What is it that you want your readers to feel? And remember, your about pages, they're coming to you. Your about page is really them coming to you. That's like super meta, but pretend that you're your reader coming to you and you're in whatever emotional state that they are coming to you for, and then plan around that. And then the last piece of this secret sauce is your fun facts. And people go about this different ways. Like Jenna Kutcher is very explicit and will say like, hi, I'm Jenna and I picked up a $300 point and shoot camera and I turned it into a multi-million-dollar business and I love mac and cheese and something else. But like, that's her fun fact most definitely is that she loves mac and cheese, and she's very open about it. And so like those fun facts that are personalizable, like one of mine that is on my one of my pages is that I can say the alphabet backwards. Like that's something that is fun and engaging. People are going to be like, I want to know more about that. So those fun facts are not necessarily a place to share your accomplishments, but really a place for people to go, I want to know more, or wow, that's cool. You know, like who's the alphabet backwards piece? Like people are going to want to know more about that. Let's see. Oh yeah, here's an example. I have examples with all of these. So I have one of my fun little adventures is I have stickers and greeting cards and Alaska stuff. So the words that I was looking for when writing my tiny little about here was I wanted it to be about Alaska and adventure and fun and art. And so some of the places that really that stand out as like really being me are that I'm a sourdough Alaskan, and I love making beautiful, or I love this place that we live, and I love translating that into art. It's really weird. I thought that it would be easy to talk about my own page. It is not. This is very awkward. So these are all in your PowerPoint. I love cheesy jokes. Again, the Alaska inspired art that keeps coming up. So just, I mean, you can, for those of you that know me, like when you read that, you know that that's me. And then my call to action is a link that directly, like it pops up to my email. Okay, the next piece is a benefit-driven headline, and you might be thinking, what the heck is a benefit-driven headline? And this is a headline with a purpose more than this is my, hey, good looking, not a good example of a headline. A benefit-driven headline would be, hey, I'm Sarah, and I have the coolest sticker for your next adventure. I have for your water bottle on your next adventure, something like that. Obviously, that's way too long. But it's a headline that is who you are, what you do, and why you do it, all sort of wrapped up into one little piece of goodness. And an easy way to get to that headline is by thinking about what your mission statement is, but explaining that in like a more relatable tone. Like for my coaching business, one of the headlines that I'm working with is, hi, I'm Sarah, and I coach high performing women to get out of their head. And then there's obviously more about me. And it's not a thesis statement. We've all written plenty of those in our time. Oh, and then the last piece, this is another thing. When you're writing your about page, and particularly in your headline, make sure that you're writing in the present tense and in an active voice. So this present tense active voice is when you're saying I'm like, there's no, I'm Sarah and I'm going to, it's I'm Sarah, I do this. We don't want, I'm Sarah, I will show you how, or any of those extra things you want right here, right now in the active voice. So here's one, and this individual, I don't know who he is, but well, he's Michael Hyatt, that's who he is, but I don't know him. His whole page is one. So the formatting can look a little bit different. But his headline is, hi, I'm Michael Hyatt, and we believe in the double win. And you're like, what's the double win? Let me read more. So you quickly read on that you can have the double win when you work at home and succeed at life. Like, who doesn't want that, you know? And then he peppers in some great information about having a humongous business and that it was sucking his soul. And then he figured out a different way, and he's here to show you how. So we believe in the double win. That's a great headline. Here's another one. This is these two gentlemen allow us to introduce ourselves. We're changing hearts, minds, and habits. And they're a design studio. And then they have their, little icons of some of the things that they do. They're changing. So that they are a design studio. So they don't have to say, hey, we're a design studio. Like that doesn't have to be big and bold. You know that because you've come to their page. But that they're a design studio that is changing hearts, minds, and habits. That's different than, your run-of-the-mill design studio. I would be more engaged. I would want to know more about these guys. And then I would check to see if I think they're cute. Here's
We're
the next
laughing. We're laughing, just so you know, we're laughing.
I love you, Sarah.
Oh gosh. The next piece is the story. And this is the hard part because you want to share your story, but you want it to be brief. And you don't want it to ramble on. And this is where a ton of people get stuck. And here's what I say. It is more important to get your about page out into the interwebs than it is to wait until it's perfect, because it's never going to be perfect. So, and with a few clicks of a button, you can change your about page in a few seconds. So, for me, my process is to do all of my planning. I do it paper and pencil first. That's just the way my brain works. And then I put it into, onto the computer. And then publish it. So once it's in the computer, just hit the button to publish it. There's no one is going to come, the about page police are not going to come after you. So just put it out there. And then as you read it 6,000 times, you're going to refine it and it's going to get better and better and better every time. So, with your story, you want it to, that's the piece where you're going to get people in, and you're going to weave in that special sauce. And so how did you get here? And there's really two routes that you can choose, or that typically people choose when crafting this story. And that's the definitive expert route. You're the definitive expert in your field, but you're not off-putting because that's scary. But you know your stuff. And that's the route how you got here. That might be, you have a master's degree in fine arts, and you taught at the School of Art and Design in New York City, and you were the curator at the MoMA, and you painted the Mona Lisa. These are all, you are the definitive expert in your field. And the other route is the overcome route. And this is the folks who have an emotional story about they were in one state that was unfortunate and they did not like being in whatever that state was. And they then did the work to get where they are now. And they are so thrilled to share that with you. And with all of that being said, it's not your story and it's your reader's story. The only reason why they are reading your story is so that they can, if they can see themselves in you. So it really is their story. They will love you personally as soon as they meet you, I promise, because you've done all this work to get them in and you have the right people. Okay, so these are wordy because they're the examples of stories, but you are going to have all of this stuff. So this individual this is Andrea Owen, and this is an example of the overcome story. She is a coach. She's been on Kathy's show. I found her through Kathy somehow. I don't know. I'm sure you guys have been in the spinning rabbit hole of Kathy, guest speaker, that guest speakers, and then you go back full circle. And so if you're just gazing or glancing through her thing, super sick and tired, exhausting. She didn't want to do all these things. And then she tells you that like she was like, and maybe you're a little pissed. She like totally tells the story from the reader's perspective, and that's something I forgot to mention. So like when you're explaining all those feelings, you're saying you because it's the reader. It's not I was depressed and I was chugging 40s on the stoop outside of my house on a Thursday. Like none of those things. It's you're telling the story, you're telling their story. So you can even say like, she knows that they're in their head. You might think I've been stalking and spying on you, but the truth is I know this because I've been there. And then she goes on, I help smart, high achieving women let go of their big default behaviors. And then it goes on down. And then even farther down her page, she has like all of her qualifications. So her about page is really long, and that's fine. There's no like length requirement or anything like that. It's just really, we'll get to it. It's what gets your reader, and then all the rest of it comes in the way that it fits. Here's another one. This is a little bit different. I don't know who this woman is, but she has a very interesting about page. So her business is the Middle Finger Project, and she has on the left where she was in 2009, and it was not in a good place, and then where she is today. So like she just has those bullets of where she was then, where she is now, and then below this she has all of her examples. And in the screenshots I left people's web pages so that if you want to go look at their page when you get all of this information, then you have that right there. Because I think almost everybody's that I used are fairly lengthy, but you'll get a good taste of what they have to offer. Okay, another story example. This is an artist, and she's more I'm the definitive expert route. She's a full-time artist, creator, and dabbler, which dabbler is a word that is, that's kind of fun. It's more than super professional. I live in a cute plant-filled apartment in Chicago with my husband and our cats. Here's my professional background. And then, however, she's like, hey, here's all this really awesome stuff that I've done. However, here, let me connect with you. My heart has always been in creative entrepreneurship and building communities online. Great. I totally want to know more. And then we'll talk about this. She has her call to action, get in touch, which is right there. And here's two more of the definitive experts in their field. On the left, this is an Alaskan artist who sells headbands, and her expertise is really in all things Alaska. I love Alaska, hiking, being in the mountains, and her target audience are Alaskan women. So like she names places specifically, like we've hiked Baldy and Mile High more times than we can count. We go to Seward for Mount Marathon. Like all of these things are super Alaskan-y things that when women are looking to connect with other outdoor women, like these are all the buzzwords. And I know this because I wrote this one. And then the one on the right is another artist, and she explains or she outlines her experience. She is an artist, she has all this great experience, and then she says that she is obsessed with pushing the limits and illustrating, and she loves to share. She says, I think I can see 2 times at least, where she says, I love to share free resources. I love to share these things. So like, hello, free resources, particularly like in the art community on the iPad, like when you can get free brushes and free color swatches and all that, that's like gold. So that's something that is very much inviting and engaging. All right, the next piece is what sets you apart. And again, these aren't in an order. This is not how the order has to be on your page. It's just the order in which I've chosen to present it. what do you do differently than everybody else? I mean, there are 6,000 coaches out there in the world. What is it that, I mean, Kathy always talks about like, you're some people's person and you're not some other people's people. So what is it that you do differently? And the next piece is prove it. Don't just claim it. So when you say that this is more for like hotel industry, I guess, or something, or I guess not really at all. If you say that you have excellent customer service, that doesn't mean anything. So what is it that you do with your customer service? Is it that you have warm towels, you provide warm towels at 5 o'clock in the evening and chocolate on your pillow? Like, what is it that you do that is different than everybody else? Like for Kathy, one of her things is that she's not just a coach, she comes from it from a heart-centered place, which really is something that is different. And I can't think of what exactly her about page says. But like, what is it that you do differently, and prove it? And a nicer way to think about it, as opposed to my babbling words, are it's your personality infused pitch. It's the super informal way that you are out. If we ever get to go out again, you're meeting people and they say, oh, what do you do? And this is when you're like, hey, I'm whatever. And this is what I do, but I do it differently. So remember though, that you don't want it to sound pitchy, because pitchy is gross and nobody wants gross. And we want to be ungross, subconscious pitchers. So this is where the magic comes in. Like all of this about your about page, and really your whole page in general, is that magical connection that you are making with your reader, so that they then choose to come to you for their services. And I can't wait for you guys to see the GIF. Okay, so here's, these are two examples. It looks like they're one, but they aren't. This website on the left, her name is Sarah Moon. And it's funny, there are 3 Sarahs that I picked as examples, which I did not do on purpose, but I guess Sarah's write awesome websites. So on the left, we do things a bit differently around here, and that's at the top part of her page. And she does content creation, copywriting stuff. And so that's how she, like, that is totally engaging. We do things differently. And then the next piece down is she, like right below this, she says that, you know, when designing with clients, we do it all in one day, so that there isn't 6 weeks of back and forthing. We spend a whole day with you to get everything we need, and then we leave you alone for 6 weeks, and then we come back and deliver your product. That's how she does things differently. And then the one on the right is another Sarah, who happens to be me. And this is where I explicitly say, level up with me. This is where I wanted to share the qualifications that I have that make things a little bit different. I come to content creation and web design from a different perspective. I don't have an art background, but I do most definitely have a long career in public service and working with people, and that customer client relationship. I can pretty much explain, I can do with words, whatever it is that you want me to do, and I can do it well. So not only do I have all those qualifications, but at the bottom, there's, when I deliver your content, it's going to be, there's going to be empathy and compassion within that. And then witty sense of humor, bad puns. And then I have a lot of meaningless trivia, and I like haikus. So these are, just fun ways to connect with people. Here's a side note. If you are someone who has products that you are selling, for one of my products that I sell on Etsy, it's a set of 3 stickers. And I put in there, when you make your purchase in the email the buyer or whatever. If you write me a haiku, then I'll throw in an extra sticker. I can't tell you how many people, like, it's my number one thing. Like, people are excited about writing a haiku because then they get a free sticker. And usually I get excited about their haiku, so then I give them a couple extra stickers and then they tell their friends, and it's a win-win all around. Okay, another what sets you apart. Cotopaxi on the left, they are an outdoor clothing brand, and they have this whole page about their creed of doing good. So they have like multiple sections about what we do and what they do good. So this is at the very top of their page. Sustainability, they are a certified B corporation. So that is a corporation that is, they are putting part of their proceeds, or a good portion of their proceeds, back into helping others. So you see that they put 1% of their revenue toward addressing poverty, et cetera, et cetera. So they get you there with that heart piece. The next piece down is that all of their clothes and goods and everything that they make is from recycled outdoor gear already. So they are 100% recycling everything that they create and make, and they make really great products. And so for those outdoorsy folks that are really into sustainability, helping others, and, you know, being earth conscious, Cotopaxi is a place that will be highly engaging to them. And then on the right is Warby Parker, and they have such a neat story. And if you are a podcast listener, which I think all of us are, How I Built This with Guy Raz, who Kathy had on just a little while ago, there's a Warby Parker How I Built This episode, and it's really great. So I would highly recommend going to listen to them. These are two guys that in college wanted to make it so glasses were affordable. And so that's what they've done. They've created this humongous business where glasses are affordable for everyone. And so what they do differently is if you buy a pair, then they give a pair to somebody that needs glasses. And they do a whole bunch of other things that are different, but this is what I could get in the little snapshot. A photo is a critical piece of your about page. Here's Josh and Jill Stanton. So they have their super cute photo, and then a little bit about them. Like, the photo totally draws you in, and then you read what it is that they do. And they give you this tiny little snapshot. Screw the 9-to-5 is a movement. We started this to show others how we can make money while living overseas. Okay, I want to do that. I want to be sitting on a super cute old car with my super hunk, and I want to live overseas and make money. Okay, totally in. I'm hitting the About Us. And then it goes to like more business, professional sorts of things. Here's one for, I don't know this woman, her name is Evan. But I keep going back to her site for a variety of different reasons because her site's really good. But her photo is like super cute and approachable. She's a like a relationship life coach for women in their mid 20s to early 30s, which I am not, but she has a great website. So she like gets you in with, hey girlfriend, I'm Evan. She gives you a tiny bit about her qualifications. She brings in her personality with that she loves the shit out of her clients. She's passionate about creating communities. And then she says, okay, I've done all these great things, like enough about me. Now let me get to you. And this is where she really puts herself in the eyes of the reader by saying, let me back up. She gives you her story, which is really the story that the reader is coming to her site with. I love that she mentioned a trapper keeper. Trapper keepers, oh my gosh, that is a way to my heart.
What's a trapper keeper?
A trapper keeper, oh my gosh. A trapper keeper are there were these binders in the 90s that were like super bright, and then they had like this Velcro thing that they were just like the best binders. I just loved them so much. There's definitely a super popular thing in elementary school in the late 80s and early 90s. All right, so your about page, this is another, like, if you're gonna walk away with 1 or 5 things, this is one of the things you need to walk away with, is your about page has to have a call to action. This is like the thing that is left out the most. Well, 2 things. Oftentimes people in businesses think, oh my gosh, the reader doesn't want to know about me, so I don't need an about page. That's wrong. You need an about page because it's really about them, as we've talked about. And then the second piece is the call to action. You need them to do something. So they've, in the down in the gold part, you guys have become super besties in 6 seconds at first. So they come to your page, you've gotten them in that 50 millisecond time period where they're gonna stay. You've gotten them after those 6 seconds where they've scanned enough that they want to keep reading. Now they're probably 2 minutes in and you guys are soul sisters. So now you need them to do something. And so this is where another place where you can get them to do something. I call it your gateway to action. And you don't want them to just click back to the top or go up to home. That's not a good enough call to action because it's nothing. This is where you would have your opt-in or your freebies, or like, hey, schedule a call with me, or check out my Instagram feed, which I would lean more toward. That's not going to get you, I mean, that's going to get you followers, but it's not going to get you a sale necessarily. And then maybe a link directly to your sales. So you need them to do something on your page. And like when you go now looking at everybody's about page, now that you have this information, you're totally going to look and be like, ooh, do they have a call to action and is it good? And you'll notice that even like high performing people that make lots of dollars, well, they've obviously found success in other ways than a call to action on their about page, but you're going to notice if they have one or not, and you need to have one. So here are some little snippets of about pages with call to actions. Ashley, she's a copywriter. Hey, I'm Ashley. I'm your saleswoman behind the keyboard. She's a copywriter and content marketing strategist with her experience. And then her tagline, I give you the words that get your results. And her, just beneath her call to action is get me results. So you click on that. I don't know where it goes. I didn't click on it, but I'm sure it's like to schedule a meeting with her or like straight to her services page. But if you are looking for a copywriter, I give you the words that get you results, get me the results, you're going to click the button. And here's the next Sarah. Hi, I'm Sarah. I believe growing your online presence should feel awesome, not overwhelming. Ready for some relief? Here's 6 ways to make it easier. Send me the guide. You click on the guide, you're in. And then the last one is the Joyologist, Trisha, the Joyologist. I can't think of what her last name is, but her podcast is pretty great too. Hey, I'm Trisha. I'm your Joyologist. I call out shitty thoughts and urge you to claim your joy and own who you are in the now. And she has 2 calls to action. The shop the products that she has, which is very direct. You know that if you go there, you're going to be shopping for products, and then get my app. Ooh, I wonder what that is. I'm going to click on that. So like super short, but very direct. And none of them have click here or, like they in their button, they tell you what you're going to get when you click on the button. Okay, the next piece is above the fold. And back in the dark ages, when the dinosaurs roamed Earth, and there was a term above the fold. And it refers to the content that is above the fold on your newspaper. So when the newspapers are all stacked up and you're walking to the subway in New York, you're glancing over at all the newspaper stands as you walk along, you're reading every single headline and looking at every photo. That's above the fold. And this is also in another, like, we all talk now about what's your top 9 on your Insta feed. That's above the fold. If you get them with your top 9, you know, as they're scrolling through your feed or whatever, if they're engaged in your top 9, they're more likely to keep scrolling. So when you are planning your about page, your above the fold on your about page or on your whole website in general is what people see when they click, like when your web page pops up. That's your above the fold. As soon as you start scrolling, that's down below. So you want to get them with that above the fold content. So here is an example. She's a communication stylist. Like she's got a great photo. On the left, she has a couple of other different options. Like I'm really interested, just because of who I am, I'm interested in what the social proof and giving back pieces are that I would want to know more. She looks super fun. And then she has like a little bit different headline. She's a communication stylist and she does it like the dictionary, you know, like it's a dictionary definition. A redheaded entrepreneur with a passion for smart, authentic communication. And she's a storyteller, speaker, and a spelling bee dropout. That's exceptional. So like, this is her above the fold piece, super engaging. You want to know more. And here's Kathy's. On her, this is her about page. And her photo is adorable. You are never quite ready, but you are brave and the universe listens to brave. So you've come to Kathy's page because you've either listened to her podcast or for whatever reason, but you know that Kathy has, her mission is to help people find their thing and to not keep their day jobs. But the way that she really connects with people is like through that heart piece that she has. So her above the fold is about being brave, and that's super engaging. And then I want to know more, so I'm going to keep scrolling. So there's that. Okay, are there questions so far? I can't see the chat, and again, I'm on my iPad. So if you have a question, you can just pop yourself off mute and fire away.
Hi, Sarah. Oh, go.
Hi.
Go.
Sorry, it's Connie Worth. Hey, I don't have a question, but I just want to tell you how fabulous this is. So thank you. I'm learning so much.
Thank you. Thanks. I'm glad to hear that. That makes me happy.
I think everyone else agrees in the chat as well. So thanks.
Oh, good. Well, I'll be looking forward. You guys could have been like writing notes about the teacher and I would never have known, you know, passing notes because I can't see it. Somebody else. Hi,
Yeah.
Donna.
Hi, how can I hire you? I need you. I need you
Oh,
in my
that's
life.
the next slide.
Okay. I knew you were brilliant, Sarah, but I mean, you even topped what I believed about you already. You're amazing. And this isn't even it. This isn't even everything you do. You're amazing. You're
Oh
amazing.
gosh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That you're too kind.
Sarah, hi, it's Sippy calling. I totally enjoyed this. I've tried to take notes quickly, but I wish I had the whole thing to like have as a reference. So my website that I have right now is my work one, which I'm a doctor. So I feel like I'm not sure I could be cutesy and tongue-in-cheeky and fun like the ones you're showing, which look amazing. I feel like I need to show my boring about me of what I did and my school and my everything. I don't want to have to put that in, but I feel like other people put that stuff in. I'm not sure if it's what patients are looking for, or if they're looking for a quick, like, oh, she's cute, her site looks fun, I want to come to her. And I'm
That's a
not
great
sure.
question.
So professional wise versus like, I mean, everyone's being professional, but I mean, some fields, I wonder if they need to be a little bit more traditional.
And well, that's really just you can't go right or wrong with that. And you can always try something. And if it doesn't work, you can change it. It's not like once you put it up, then that's like your defining thing forever. I would recommend, if I were in your shoes as a doctor or a lawyer, any of those professional, really more professional, traditional places where your clientele is probably looking for more professional, I would have all of that be professional on all of your other pages. And I would still have that tone come through, that authoritative, I'm an expert tone on your about page. But then I would also throw in things like, I was going to say, like, between patients, I like to go get coffee, but you don't want to say that. Like, just throw in some personality pieces. Like, I first got interested in medicine when I first got interested in medicine because when I was a kid, a friend of mine broke her arm and had surgery, and I got really excited about it, or something. Like, just like tie your story in to like something that's a little bit less professional. Does that make sense?
I don't know. Like, I should have a story like that in there. Like, my social media is different. It's it has a little more personality, a little sarcastic, a little other things in it. It might. I made my page, I swear, it's like 3-4 years ago. I forgot how to even go back into Squarespace and change it, to be honest. But I did remember making it more informational when I saw other people's pages have more information about like education and stuff. I made it a bit more like that. Some of them are more fun. I don't have it as, at the moment, it's not like a classic looking page. It's still kind of fun. It's the colors and it's smilier, but I don't know. I'd love it to look like one of these cute ones that you were showing. And I'm like, can I actually pull that off or not?
Is your website converting right now? That's another question. Are people coming to your website and then purchasing services from your website?
I don't know. My office is new. Like, I opened up in November before COVID, which is awesome timing. And it was couch pay. And now I'm like, I'm a dermatologist. So now I feel like, okay, I need to start taking insurance plans, getting patients in, and it's not just from referrals. So I'm waiting to get on those plans. I'm not advertising a ton, but I am getting patients to my website because I ask them if they don't recognize the name. I'm like, how did you find me? It's not an old patient of mine. And a lot of them are finding me because they're like, we can't find you from other old offices. No one will tell us where you moved. We're so happy we found you online. So they're finding me online. I guess they're finding me somehow. And if they know where my address is or they have my phone number, it means they must have found my website.
Your website, or if your information's on your social, that's fine too. Another way that you can think about it, and this is really putting things in buckets, and is you could have your super professional page and your professional about me, and have that be like, I'm the expert in my field. I'm super approachable. I'm so excited to see you. And then you can have like another whole section, either like down below your all your professional stuff, or like even a different link that's like, for fun, get to know me for fun, and have it just really be about you for fun. So like, you've told them all of your content, all the information that they need to know, and now you're explicitly telling them, hey, this is what I do for fun. I'm a human. I am not boring. Like, this is me for fun. And just like being super explicit.
I have it there. It's even at my end of my about me. Like, I'm a dermatologist and I'm like, guys, I love going to the beach. I write that. I went to cooking school. Like, I have all that in there. I'm just not sure if I should make the whole thing be more fun, because I feel like I'm not sure how to use all of your stuff for my page, because your stuff is so it's more eye-catching, but I'm not sure if I'm doing that. I should show you mine. I should message you directly.
Okay, so I was gonna say, I'm happy to look at your page,
because I'm like, I wish I can figure out how to implement what you're doing.
Okay. I am super happy to look at your site. I would love to do so. And oftentimes, like, since I can't see it, your site could be amazingly perfect and beautiful and like super engaging. I just can't see it. So we need to
redo it. I feel like I gotta change it up, the colors and stuff. I've got to change it a bit. But yeah, I just want it to be approachable, and I didn't want like everybody else's site, because everyone looks like it's a template that like someone that they buy from a company that makes all the medical ones, and all look exactly the same. And I thought patients might not want that.
No,
maybe they do, and it's more professional looking.
Yeah, like I'm your clientele. I would be wanting someone that is not super formal, and I would want to come to you because you're warm and kind and inviting. Like that would be what I would be looking for on your site.
I actually, when I answer my own calls, I don't have staff yet. And one of the patients who called who I didn't know, and I was like, how'd you find me? She goes, actually, I found you online. I saw your website and it made me want to come. And I was
Great.
like, oh,
Well,
thanks.
that is your feedback. That is your validating feedback.
Which I thought was
That's great.
interesting. She's like, I just like the feel I got from you on your thing. Do you take my insurance? I'm like, not yet. So that sucked. But some people just want to come anyway when they see that or when they hear that or they get that feeling.
Yes.
I got to figure out what to portray exactly. Because my whole thing is I want to be approachable and make skincare approachable. So
Mhm.
that's what I try to express, but I'm not sure it really does that. Because of course I get into my imposter syndrome and defensive and
Mhm.
like I have to show that, oh, I'm this and this and this and this.
Right. Well, having someone give you the direct feedback that they came to you because of your site is super validating, because I mean, how many websites are there in the universe? Like bazillions. And they found you and they liked you. So that's great feedback. And I am super happy to look at your site. I would love to do that. So if you want to message me, or we can
I'll
chat
message
offline.
you.
I'd be
I see
happy
you're
to.
through your website, just Sarah Alaska, or is there an email?
You can you can email Sarah
Did I?
at Sarah Alaska. That's it. that email works just fine. So here
Sarah?
you probably have yes.
Sorry, it's Justina. I have a question.
Hi. Uh-huh.
Hi. So I know that there's some of us that may be building our own websites, but
Mhm.
there's others that have other people maybe doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So do we then just kind of take this information and tell them how to build it, or how do we go about that?
That's a great question. If you are using someone to build your website, if they, in my opinion, are skilled at their craft, then they will ask you for these things. They will say, what is the tone that you want to convey? What is the voice that you want to be used? And that will be a partnership that you do with them. I personally, if I were hiring someone, I would still write my own, but that's just me. I'm a control freak, but I'm giving you a template with all of this information in there. So if you're working with someone who builds websites, you can say, these are the things that I want in there, and just have it all ready for them, hand them the piece of paper, and then say, this is what I want. And then they'll do it. And if you like it, great. And if not, then you guys can go through that editing and revising process.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yes. Any other questions?
Sarah, I just wanted to ask you for your rate.
That is, it all depends on what you would like for me to do. So there's rates for, like, if you want me to build your website from the ground up, that's one price. If you want me to just do your copywriting for you, that's another. It really is a conversation between the two of us. If you go to sarahalaska.com, there are the bullet pointed rates that's like you and I are going to have a conversation, and that's going to be right in the ballpark for whatever it is that you want to do. But you can ask me to do anything and I will do it, and we will come up with a price that's great for both of us. I want it to be a win-win for both of us. There are some of my ladies in here, they know that one of my big hurdles is not giving things away for free. So I'm really trying, but I if I could, I would make everybody's website in here for free. So yeah, just go to sarahalaska.com. And if you want me to like build Instagram templates or Canva things or anything like that, anything that is website related or social related, anything like that, I can help you.
And we are lining up to pay you. So
that's pretty much my call to action. So yes, my rates are low, but I can say with confidence that your website will be beautiful. And or if you have somebody else building your website and you want a content audit or something to look at differently, I will make your words shine. In my world of education, when I was a principal, you know, I have my very close friends. My very best friend is an elementary school principal, and I would write all of her difficult emails for her, every single one of them, because she knew that if that I would craft it much better than she could. It was just a skill that I have. So like super challenging back and forths that were like, hey, these are the things that I want to talk about when we get on the phone together, like that kind of big thing. I would write all of those emails, or responding to a grouchy parent who was like totally irrational and out in left field. I would write those back too. And and now I'm obviously not a principal, but the other day we were out on a walk and she was like, I had to respond to this person. And I said, Christine, did you use a greeting and a closing like I've taught you? And she was like, yes, I did. So yes, I can craft whatever it is that you would like with words. And if you do choose to work with me, then I'll make a content calendar for you, which is super helpful. And also Canva templates, whatever you'd like. And that's it. You can find me on the interwebs because I have so many different things going on. You can find me in a variety of different places. So I haven't built the Sharing Your Shine website. That's for coaching. And as I briefly mentioned earlier, I'm wanting to build my business around coaching high performing women to get out of their head and get out of their own way. So that's one piece. And then Tiger Lily and Tundra is my cards, greeting cards and stickers and those sorts of fun things. Let's see if I have a card around. Oh, here's a Christmas card. A cute little bear Christmas card. So that's Tiger Lily and Tundra. And then Sarah Alaska is all the web design and content and all those sorts of things. So you can pick your poison. I pretty much have you covered. And I will put, I'll just make a post and put it in all the different communities that I posted this in with the link to the recording, all the PowerPoint slides, and then the planning template. I will put that up in just a few minutes, and I will also send out a feedback form, which I would love. And you can tell me that I ramble.
Sarah,
Love you.
Sarah, I have a question.
Yes.
I need to be your first client. I need copywriting. So if you're available anytime between right now
And 5 p.m.
Sunday or early Monday, you're hired, darling.
Yes. Just shoot me a message. You can
Okay.
either message me on Facebook or don't message me on Instagram. They get lost. I don't know where they go, but I miss things there. So Facebook, since we're all connected, Facebook is the easiest way to do all that.
Okay, I will find you. Thank you,
Mhm.
Sarah.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Just
Okay.
gotta say how
Just-
fabulous you are.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, here, maybe I can, there, I can see you.
Hello.
Oh gosh. It's snowing. If you guys can,
Oh, good old Alaska.
yep, and my next door neighbor. I have like the most beautiful view, but it looks like I'm smack next door to my person. But really I do have a great view. Okay, well, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I hope that this was helpful. Feel free to reach out with any questions. If you want me to look at your site, I'm happy to do that at any time. If you have questions or, you just want a thought partner, whatever, I'm here for you.
Thank you
Awesome.
so
Thank you,
much.
Sarah.
You're welcome.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
You're welcome. Toodaloo. Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Ta-ta for now.
Ta-ta for now.
Bye.
Bye.